You are now listening to LauerRoadRadio.
Hey, welcome one and all to the #1 podcast, winter, spring, and fall. Talking sports for the thrill of it all. Hey, talking life, but we're killing it all. Jason and Dan with the master plan. These are dangerous men with the mic in the hand. Huh? Bonafide winners everywhere that we go. You're a part of the team.
LauerRoadRadio.
Dad light, Doug light, bright lights in sight. All right. What? Dad light, Doug light, bright lights in sight. All right. Yeah. Dad light, Doug light, bright lights in sight. All right. Bonafide winners everywhere that we go. You're a part of the team.
LauerRoadRadio.
Let's get it.
What? At Tanagra, when the walls fell. This is Dan Owings coming at you another time for Lauer Road Radio with my co-host, as always, Jason. I thought I'd be a sunglasses guy. What do you think?
Like in life or in the show?
Yeah, just in life. I want to be that guy that wears sunglasses inside all the time.
Sunglasses
I'm just going to assume that you're high if you do that.
Is that what that means?
You know what I
think
don't
so.
like about those is like the silver thing in the corners. I wish it was all black.
And people say you're racist, but you're not, because you wish these were all black.
People say that all the time about me.
That you're racist?
I'm a racist, white supremacist.
Yeah, I've heard that.
You can't even pronounce it. How could you be it?
Yeah, exactly.
You could be lots of things you can't pronounce.
So I don't know.
Heads up, before anybody skips or shuts off the program, our best stuff's always at the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's a public service announcement that we need to make for anyone watching or listening to the show. When the music starts to roll, that's usually when the best thing happens.
Yeah, we drop 2 or 3 lines at the very end, unscripted, and it's the funniest stuff.
Because we finally relaxed.
It takes 50 minutes to find our groove.
Yeah.
And then that
But
final
much
2
like
minutes
Stella,
is dynamite.
we get it back. Stella
Yeah.
got her groove back. Is that the name of the movie?
See, for me, I've been thinking on it for 51 and a half minutes, and I finally got something that was okay.
Sure. So here's what I'm thinking. You're in a restroom, and more
Men's or
nowadays. Well, this is what I'm getting to.
Okay.
More and more nowadays, at every Starbucks, at many others, they're just unisex, one toilet restrooms, which actually I'm not against.
Yeah.
Because sometimes 2 dudes need to use the restroom, right?
And you get to play swords.
And, and so you shouldn't, it should
can
be
cross
separate.
streams.
You can cross streams. But that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm just saying there's 2 restrooms,
Yeah.
and so I dedicate one to women only and one to men only.
Yeah.
Because you might have a backlog. Sometimes Jesse makes a backlog, but
Lots
that's a
of
different kind of
backlogs.
backlog.
And front logs and side logs.
So you're in one of those kinds of restrooms.
Yeah.
Okay. And sometimes it has a door handle that says occupied or not.
Yes.
And sometimes it doesn't, and it's just locked or it's not.
I'm a fan of the
I like the occupied.
the red and the green.
So if you are in a Starbucks, let's say, and you're coming up and you see these 2 restrooms and both the doors are shut, but it could just, be a door shut.
Yeah.
Right? How do you test? What do you do? Here's the options that I would think you have. You can try to open up the door, or you can knock. What do you do?
I would say 9 times out of 10, I'm checking to see if it's unlocked.
Now, do you check it, like, when you check it, do you check it like, I don't know, I'm trying to, like that? You know what I mean?
You
like
tap it?
You really just, like, or, because for me...
You aggressively turn and push.
Followed by, anyone in here?
For me, what I do is
Duck and cover.
Coming in. What I like to do is I like to just ever so slightly, just gently, just feel it, just to see if it's locked, right? Because I don't want to disturb.
You could also come across as a creeper that way. You get your camera out, the phone up.
And because I don't want to disturb the pooper, right? Like there's
Assuming
somebody
that there's
in
a
there
pooper,
doing some work,
Yeah.
and I don't want to disturb them. So today I'm at Starbucks, and I go in to take care of some business, as you do.
You went to Starbucks to do this.
Where do you poop?
At work.
Yeah. Well, has that something to boss?
Boss makes a quarter, I make a dime. That's why I poop on company time.
That's one of my all-time 10 top poems.
Yeah.
So, So yeah, I go to Starbucks.
And you can substitute poop for whatever you want.
Sure.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want. Not on the show, you can't. Because
We'll talk
we're
afterwards.
family friendly.
So
You went to Starbucks to poop.
I go to Starbucks to poop, as you do. I order the cold brew. I'm like, I'm going to make my own brew, and then I'll be back.
It's going to be a hot one. A steamy
I'm going to
brew.
leave you guys a hot brew.
Well, you make me a cold brew.
This guy knows what I'm talking about.
When they ask for the name, say the pooper.
The pooper. Mm-hmm.
Is a pooper? Got your drink?
You just yell from the bathroom. You just hear,
I'll be there in a minute.
Have you seen that thing where a guy said, I told him my name was Mark with a C? Have you seen that?
Clark.
And it's CARC. So I go there to deposit my hot brew. just a steaming hot brew.
Yeah, no, I understand. You paint a fabulous
you
picture.
take a milk frother in there too.
I'll froth. And I'm sitting there, really focused. And
What would really be great is if you confuse them. Can I get a cup of ice for the bathroom? Okay, thanks.
I gotta go to the restroom, but obviously I'm gonna need a cup of ice before I go.
Obviously,
It's been
you know what I'm talking
It
about.
goes without saying.
it's been percolating for a while. So many coffee and poop puns.
So I'm there doing my business as you do, and I'm just focused on the job at hand.
I understand.
I'm not thinking
You
about
forgot to lock
anything
the
else.
bathroom?
No.
Oh.
I did lock it, but I wish I was just ready. I wish I was like at any point something could happen, and someone walks up to the door.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they walked up. They could have ran.
Yeah.
They could have crawled. They could have ridden a bike. But let's just for the sake of the story, let's assume that they walked.
Yeah.
And they go straight to the door and they go. They knock right on the door.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
No.
That disturbs me.
Yeah.
I also don't like the.
Give me a minute.
So I don't like that. I don't like any of that. And in that moment, my IQ, which already is not substantial, drops significantly.
Yeah.
And I forget all words.
Yeah.
And I just make a guttural just to try to get them away. So and then after I make a few noises, occupied.
Present.
I'm here. There's someone in here. So I don't like that.
You might want to use the other one.
Yeah.
It's going to be a few minutes.
Yeah. So I yelled occupied.
Yeah.
Is that the right thing to yell?
Yeah, that's what I normally say.
Occupied.
I'm gonna try out a new one though. You got me thinking about it.
Okay.
And normally I say occupied,
Yeah.
and I say it in that tone,
I've
very
never said
pleasant.
occupied.
No, occupied.
Okay.
I say
I'm
occupied.
I'm thinking about trying out. Who is it? And then they're on the other side of the door. Frank.
It catches them off guard.
May I ask who's calling, please?
I think my response, yellow.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
what yeah.
That's pretty good. Yeah, I just said
Or-
occupied.
No habla español.
Yeah, there's that. I was in Mexico on a missions trip, and there was an outhouse, and there was a girl using the restroom in it.
Yeah.
And we were just around the corner, and this guy, I felt so bad for him.
Yeah.
He just walks in the thing, and she did not lock the door, and so we just hear her screaming from around the corner, "Ocupado! Ocupado!"
Muy ocupado.
So that kind of became the recurring theme of the whole trip. Just
Ocupado.
every time we saw her, "Ocupado!"
Who was Ocupado?
Who was it?
Was it a one in your group?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you gonna say the name?
No. So it was, and that was a joke that we would always say, "Ocupado," which is pretty funny. And I felt bad for him. He's like running away. He's like, "Oh no!" He felt really bad.
Porta potty story.
I love a porta potty story.
I ran cross country in high school,
As did I.
and
I did not.
no, that's obvious. And being a freshman,
Mm-hmm. As you do.
as I do, we test the waters, right? We went to a race
In a
In a porta pot?
Listen,
First of all, there's no water in there. Whatever is in there is
it's
not
blue
water.
liquid.
Yeah.
in the hole. Anyways, at Tiffin up at Heidelberg,
Boneless brown bass, unlimited quality.
it
What?
was the second largest cross country meet in the country, and ESPN was there.
Tiffin.
Tiffin.
It's a big deal.
It's like thousands. I think in my race there was 5,000 people. It was a huge race. Well, 5,000 people.
That's how I start.
There's 5,000 varsity, 5,000 junior varsity, plus men, plus women.
I mean, honestly, what is this going to get me?
Not
like
much.
when I'm waiting for the start.
Listen.
You know, is this going to save me any time?
There's like 15,000 people.
I might as well just start off like this.
Yeah.
You know? Anyway,
15,000 people there.
in Tiffin,
Getting ready to run.
Kenny Mayne is there. Stuart Scott is there.
Yeah,
Chris
Brian
Berman
Kelly.
is there. Brian Kelly's
He was
there.
recruiting for nerding football.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, there's 1,000 porta potties because there's something called runner's trot.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
When you run, you
Mm-hmm.
got to take care of business. The experienced ones will do it before the race.
TCB, yeah,
Right.
definitely.
So, the experienced one of our group was a senior. His name was Nate. So Nate goes into the bathroom,
Yeah,
locks the door, sits on the pot, starts doing his business.
as you do.
Me and Vince thought it was a great idea and thought it would be hilarious if we started rocking the porta potty.
And you're freshmen,
And we're freshmen.
and
He's
he's a senior.
You have no right.
It was pretty funny. There was lots
Your
of
grade had a sense of entitlement.
yeah. We did that well.
You guys showed up, and you had this thought like,
We're here now.
We're here, so
Forget the hierarchy.
this has all been
We've got it from
lead
here.
up. We'll take care of
We'll
it from
take
here.
care of it from here. And so we're rocking it. We're laughing. Everybody's having a good time. And we were rocking it from the back. And we got over aggressive, and it tipped face down, the door down. He could not get out.
Killed you.
He was screaming. The things were splashing and flipping and flopping. It
Sure.
was not a great.
How did
experience.
How did he run that day?
I mean, I think he ran okay. We ran fast. That's the fastest I ever run. I'm getting away from that.
Yeah.
I've never run that fast. And unfortunately, we had to pick it back up
Yeah.
because we can't leave him like that.
Sure,
I mean,
of
we
course.
could.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Did he
in
know it was you?
hindsight, well, when we lifted it
If
up,
there,
yeah.
well,
I mean,
I'm saying before then, if you just split,
yeah. Well,
and
in
then-
hindsight, that's what I should have done.
what you do is you get quiet for a couple seconds, and then you kind of walk away, and then you run back, and you're like, "Hello, is anybody in there? What's going
Yeah.
on?"
Nate,
and then
is that you?
You pick it up, Nate.
Yeah.
What the heck happened, man?
Yeah, you know, we should have yelled as we tipped it over. Ridgedale rules.
Yeah, something like that.
We were not
I can just see
Ridgedale.
Jason. He's pushing over. He's like, "You always remember the day when Jason Owings tipped the porta pot."
I really feel bad about it. I really do because I
Well-
would have been furious if someone did that to me.
That was not an uncommon thing to happen at cross country meets.
tipping porta potties.
Yeah, I saw it happen once.
yeah.
They did it to Andy Ballinger when he
Well.
went in. And so I always, after I saw that they do that to him, I'm like, there's no way I'm getting in a porta
You
potty
sneak
around
off.
anybody.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm usually a sneak pooper anyway. That's my thing.
There's what we're calling this episode. The sneak pooper.
Yeah. Usually when I walk backwards,
Yeah.
So
Like at Starbucks, you sneak in there.
I sneak in there.
Do you order before you poop?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I couldn't. If I ordered a cold drink, it'd be warm. If I ordered a hot drink, it'd be cold.
How
by the
long
time
you
I'm
spending
done.
in the bathroom?
Quite a bit. Yeah. Yeah. It's like one of my favorite places. I mean, think about it. I eat in the bathroom sometimes.
That's
You
true.
do eat in the bathroom.
I found myself today before I came here to the 7-Eleven
Yeah.
in the bathroom so long that when I stood up, I almost fell because both of my legs and
Fell
feet had
asleep.
went to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That happens.
All right, Jason. What do you got going on?
So, turned on ESPN.
As you do.
I rarely do anymore because
Neither do I.
don't.
I saw a friend of the show, John Fitzpatrick, today, and he's like,
Yeah.
I watch so little amount of sports
Yeah.
that today he was like, so who do you think's gonna go to the finals? I was like, the finals of what? I don't even know what you're talking
Spelling
about.
bee.
Yeah.
He's like, basketball. I was like, NBA.
Are the Warriors
And I was
still
like,
in it?
who's in it? Are the Cavs legitimate anymore? I don't know. Maybe the Vancouver Grizzlies.
The Canucks?
I don't know.
Vancouver Grizzlies.
No,
Yeah.
I think that's a team, isn't it?
No, it's Memphis
it's
now.
Memphis.
Grizzlies. Yeah, exactly.
Listen.
So I didn't know who the final four teams were. He told me. Now I forget.
Yeah.
So
I think Boston might be one.
that's how disconnected I am
Yeah.
from sports.
pretty safe saying Boston or LA. They're almost always in the mix.
If you say LA, there's two LA teams. So
double your chances. So, turn on ESPN, and golf was on.
I do like golf.
I like disc golf, yeah.
It's not real golf. Southern Hills, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
We've been there.
Yeah, it's the U.S. Open. We went to the U.S. Open. I think the PGA Championship, rather, is what's going on.
We went to the U.S. Open, though.
We went to the U.S. Open. It was at Southern Hills in Tulsa. And so I was going to tell how we got on the golf course. So that day, so this was like 2001, 2002 maybe. And there was, Tiger Woods was at his peak.
Yeah, he was peak Tiger Woods.
Peak Tiger Woods, the best of the best. And I kind of wanted to see Tiger Woods.
Sure. Who doesn't?
So I was working at a hotel at the time, and NBC was staying at our hotel. And there was special press passes that NBC had to get onto the golf course.
Yeah.
So I found these lanyards that were the NBC press passes, and me and 2 or 3 of the guys took them.
Hey, you know?
Yeah. And so you and I, we had press passes.
You know, in hindsight, it's funny that that's what happened, because I think you told me that some people from NBC gave the hotel press passes.
Yeah.
Because I've told that story for years, and the story that I've always said that I remember is that my brother worked at this hotel, and the NBC guys were super cool because they gave him a few press passes, and so we got those press passes.
Turns out,
in hindsight,
I never
actually
told you the rest of the story.
No, because I would not have.
I know.
I would have been so nervous.
I know.
Listen,
That's why he lied.
That's why I had to lie so that we could confidently walk onto the course.
Oh, I would have.
Turns out they were missing a couple press passes.
I would have hated every minute of that if I had known that I was there illegitimately.
Yeah, we were there illegitimately.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and so we got on.
That's really funny.
Yeah. So the next night, I never told you this. The next night, they were asking around, do you know where these press passes went? Turns out we had them, and I don't know. That's weird.
That is weird. You got to hold on to that. You got to hold on to that sort of thing.
Pass?
You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
somewhere I think I still have mine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's hilarious. I did not know that.
yeah. And then I can't remember the other guy. The other guy that was working behind the counter, he knew where they were at, so he gave them to me.
That's funny.
And so you and I went.
Now
I wish we would have taken full advantage of it. I wasn't ballsy enough at the time.
Now
they actually had a food tent for the press.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we could have went in there with our press passes and got food.
My goodness.
Now today we could probably get press passes
pull it
as
off.
Lauer Road.
Yeah, sure. I remember in Tulsa when we lived there, my wife worked at a apartment community, and specifically she was managing at this time the downtown, like super nice apartments.
Yeah.
Where the people that lived there, none of the people that lived there, and rent was like just rent, not anything else, was like $3,000 a month.
Yeah.
And the people that lived there, it was none of their only like homes.
Right.
It was just they'd stay there for a couple of months.
Right.
So all these people were very rich, and then they would have these apartment like pool parties, right, where people would, they had drinks and all sorts of stuff that they would put on for the people that lived there. And she would always say, I want you to come. I don't like to go there by myself. It's just so miserable. I'm like, and I never really enjoyed it. These are very rich people.
Yeah.
I don't do well around that.
You're occupied.
Yeah. And I kept, I'm like curtsying to everybody.
Yeah.
You know, like, stop. Then what are you doing?
You don't even have a dress on.
My Lord, stop it. I don't do well around that. I get nervous. And so I'm just kind of doing my thing, drinking my ginger ale, looking around, whatever. And these guys are talking about golf, and they're talking about Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson and Nick Faldo and everything. Well, I know about that.
Yeah.
So I kind of jimmy my way into the conversation, and we had this whole, and I just had this great back and forth because I could talk sports, right?
on, yeah.
And now I'm one of the guys. I'm like, hey, yeah. And so then they start talking about their own golf games.
Oh.
And like, where do you golf? And they're like, oh, yeah, I golf at Southern Hills. And then the other guy, which is, of course, a crazy expensive course. And the other guy was like, yeah, I used to go there, but I'm not a big fan of it.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're with what they're doing golf-wise is just, and then they looked at me, hey, where do you like to golf?
Kings Mill. Is that what you
This
said?
is in Tulsa.
Oh, well, you still say Kings Mill.
I should have said
Are you familiar with it?
Kings Mill? Oh, you haven't been?
Do you know Jack Nicholson? He's from Columbus. This is just right around the corner from that.
Yeah, it's close to Columbus with Jack Nicholson.
You know Jack, right?
Jack.
Yeah.
You know Jack. Golden Bear? We're talking about Golden Bear. So
Green Acres.
He asked me
on Smelter Road.
That is where I golf. So he goes, where do you golf? And at the time, I didn't golf a lot, but when I did, I was like, well, there's this place just north outside of town It's a few miles out. You know, you pay for 18, they let you play all day. And the guy's like, and then they just turn around.
We're going to be over here.
We're going to go talk to Sharisa over here. I don't know. And then I never spoke to them again, and it was very uncomfortable. So I had a moment, though, where No, you're very good at that.
You familiar with Kings Mill?
Mm-hmm. I was just honest.
Yeah.
They're like, where do you go? I was like, I don't know the name of it.
Because you could also say, it's like, it's pretty expensive. I mean, it's a couple $100 for a membership.
Yeah, right.
Not per round.
That gets you in for a whole year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For $800, you can golf as much as you want for the whole year.
There's no way I could do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It was.
See, I have fun in those situations.
Yeah, you do well in those.
Yeah. Which is
I
why
wish
we had
I
press
did.
passes.
Exactly. I would pick those up and like carry them immediately to
You're
somebody.
gonna have to go to the priest and confess now.
Yeah. And I would be like, where is Tom Brokaw? Because I got his property.
Got his press pass.
I used to work I was selling websites, and the guy who owned the company.
You've had the worst jobs, like selling websites.
I
Like,
didn't sell one.
How dumb could you be when you'd be like, somebody offered you a job where you could sell websites when literally anybody can just buy a website, and people who know they want one know how to get one.
Well, I was selling the creation of the website.
Oh, I'm sure that there was some spin on it. I have no doubt about that.
Yeah, and we wouldn't get out of bed for less than $5,000. It was a tough sell. But his office was on the like the
You stayed in
Longaberger.
bed then.
Yeah, basically.
Explains a lot.
His office was on that the golf course, like the Longaberger basket golf course, like the really nice one. And I was going to networking events, and people would ask me like who I worked, what company I worked for, and I give them my card, and they're like, oh, so where are you out of? Oh, the Longaberger, that's where my office is. It overlooks the 18th green. That's just the like where people go to eat lunch. And so I'd play it up. I didn't know anything about golf, but I was like, oh yeah, it's a pretty nice place. It's like the best in Ohio. And that was pretty easy to find out.
And how many websites do you sell?
Literally 0 in like 3 months.
Wow.
Because I was saying, listen, it's about Facebook. It was marketing. I said, we need to be selling Facebook ads.
You're selling Facebook pages?
Ads. No, I was trying to sell Facebook ads, but the owner of the company wouldn't let me. And now guess what he's selling? Facebook ads. I was ahead of my time.
Sure.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
I just wanted to flex the.
You
at
remember?
one point,
Remember
I had an
earlier,
office
Jesse,
on a-
when you said you listened to the show for 51 minutes before you decided to talk?
Keep that up.
It's amazing to me how many people have mentioned to me, people that don't know Jesse, that are concerned about how mean we are to him.
Yeah.
And they always want to know, like, does he know?
Yeah.
Does he know? Because I feel like you guys know and we know, but I'm not sure that he knows that you're making fun
brand
of him.
new, because he's never on the camera either. I've had brand new listeners come up to me and like, man, I just found your show. I love it. They say, what's the deal with Jesse? Like, do you guys like not like him?
Yeah, no, people legitimately think
they
that we
think
don't
that.
like him.
all of my family that have listened, they're like, you really shouldn't go to that tonight. Like, hey, Mom, Dad, I got my podcast tonight. And they're like, really?
Are you still doing that?
Still.
Oh my goodness. Jason and I, we know that everyone needs a role,
Yeah.
right? And that's your role.
I mean,
Well, the truth is, you don't have to be here.
no.
That's true.
You choose to be here.
Juice, yeah.
So that's on you.
I feel like I'm kind of like the Dave Landau. Ahoy.
No.
No?
No.
No.
You're Gerald B.
Fair enough. I'll take it. Better than me and Gerald C.
It's a blow-up doll.
Okay. What do you want to talk about? Anything else? Or I actually want to talk about Netflix for maybe more than normal.
Okay.
So
Listen, I've got a thing about one of my kids got straight A's. Which one? Not Estelle, she's in college. One of my boys got straight A's.
I'm going to say,
Gideon.
No.
oh, that was my guess.
I think Gideon got 1B.
The rest.
Gideon's actually does pretty well.
Yeah. No, I knew he did.
Yeah.
Harrison?
No?
Yeah, I didn't think so. Gus?
No.
Teddy.
Yeah.
Teddy got straight A's. He came home. He was so excited. He got straight A's on his grade card, and he said, Krispy Kreme is offering a deal that you get one free donut with every A on your grade card. And I said, listen, this is what we're going to do. Let's go make copies of that grade card. And we're going to go in there and find different Krispy Kremes,
Sure.
and we're going to clean up.
Yeah.
he's all excited now. So I think this weekend we're going to hit as many Krispy Kremes as we can with copies of the grade card.
I feel like that'd be just super easy to fraudulate, even if you didn't get A's. You could just
to me
on Word.
That's like life lessons right there. You can. I'm teaching him some life lessons.
Sure.
Be unethical and steal donuts.
It's not unethical. They're the ones offering it. They're not verifying.
I mean,
that's
it's like
on them.
Each donut for them costs 5 cents.
Yeah.
So you're not even,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I thought that was fun. I've got another thing. I was eating Ritz Crackers.
Just hit the Netflix.
No.
Nope.
Did you hit it?
Nope.
Okay, listen. Ritz Crackers. Don't hit it.
Jesse, do it.
Don't do it. Do not hit it. I've got a great thing about Ritz Crackers.
No one's ever had a great thing about Ritz Crackers.
No, listen. I've got a great thing about Ritz Crackers that we did as kids.
I do like a Ritz Cracker, though.
Does anything get better than a Ritz Cracker?
I like a Club Cracker.
Listen, they're fine.
The butter ones.
They're fine.
Yeah, that's good.
They're fine. Listen, a Ritz Cracker. Do you remember doing this? Chewing up maybe 1 or 2 Ritz Crackers.
Okay.
Making it a mush.
Sure.
A paste. And then laying it back on another cracker.
Oh, God.
And then now you have a Ritz Cracker with a Ritz paste for your delight.
I feel like you should be the one that gets made fun of more now on this
listen.
podcast. That is awful.
I never did that. I don't remember you doing that.
I still do
And
that. I did it the other day. 2 nights ago I
Remember
did
when
this.
me and you definitely did that when we were kids, Dan?
No, and sometimes I'll do an Oreo out of it. Like I'll do Ritz Cracker, paste, another Ritz Cracker, and then I eat
I'm
it.
vomiting in my
Yeah.
mouth right now.
I
That's
do.
gross.
Name any other food that you would chew up, spit out, and then re-eat on a cracker.
Sunflower seed.
Cheese.
You do chew up a sunflower seed.
I would chew up cheese and put it back on a cracker. Listen, it was in my own mouth. I'm going to eat it again.
I don't mind a canned cheese. When's the last time you had that?
Oh, it's been a while.
I like that.
Yeah. That's not real cheese.
No.
It's imitation
The
cheese.
Netflix suggestion of the week.
Please.
You said that was a good thing about a cracker.
Terrible.
It was not your best work.
That might be the worst thing about a Ritz cracker.
Yeah. I don't know that I can eat another Ritz Cracker after that.
You're going to try it.
I always thought it would be. I always thought it'd be good to have a villain who was a super bad guy in a movie, and he just always ate Ritz Crackers.
Netflix, watch
his
these
thing.
shows with us. Netflix, or maybe Hulu Plus, or maybe Amazon Prime, or something like that, like YouTube. Or we don't want to put a box around what you watch, so you never know.
Jason, what is your Netflix suggestion of the week?
My Netflix suggestion of the week is I'm scrolling through.
You don't know what it is?
No, you caught me off guard. Usually we do it much later in the show.
I mean, we're at 30
Okay,
minutes.
listen.
I mean, it's basically
The Book of Eli.
with Denzel.
Denzel Washington.
Most people say he's my doppelganger.
Denzel. Huh. Or
It's more
are
of an
you his?
essence.
Are you his?
Either way.
Okay.
Tomato.
Yeah. Listen, it's a very good movie, and I think
It's been a while for me.
it's been a while. I just watched it the other night. I think it was actually shot like on a DSLR camera. The whole movie. It wasn't like on a super professional camera, which is really cool because it shows you the progression of camera equipment. That you could actually shoot the same movie by yourself. They've tried to do that with iPhone. I've always been disappointed in the result.
Yeah.
But cameras now are phenomenal. And this movie, I think, was the first one that kind of broke that barrier.
What about the Blair Witch Project?
That was a pretty crappy movie.
I thought
Crappy
it was,
quality, too.
I thought it was real. Well,
I know. Do you remember watching it at the house and then walking back to the woods?
me and Brandon Levings.
Yeah, and Jared, I think, was there.
Was he?
Yeah.
I remember Brandon was there for sure.
Yeah.
And it was scary.
You guys were freaked out.
I was pretty scared.
Yeah.
I don't watch scary movies.
I
very
love scary
often.
movies. Book of Eli, not scary.
No.
Post-apocalyptic. Those are my favorite movies.
Scariest movie for me that I would enjoy
Yeah.
would be like Signs, The Village.
No, I don't think that's scary.
Well, for me, it is.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, I just watched
No.
last night or 2 nights ago. Soylent Green. Do you know this?
Nope.
So it was made in 1973.
Okay.
Charlton Heston is the lead.
I like Charlton Heston.
He's fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a futuristic movie filmed in 1973.
Mm-hmm.
The date in the future, 2022.
I love that.
Listen,
when that happens.
it
Are they
times up
flying?
perfect.
Are there flying cars?
No, there's not.
Oh.
Dystopian future, which
Okay.
we're living in basically.
We're on the precipice of it.
Food is scarce, which food is scarce now.
Hey, yeah. Two
and
for two.
They get to the point where they come across this organization who's involved in the process of making something called Soylent Green. It was a food, and it's like these green chips. Looks like a potato chip almost. And Charlton Heston is a police officer who's tracking down this whole thing, and he's following.
Does he have a laser gun?
He does not have a laser gun, just a regular gun.
Okay.
Well, turns out he goes to the factory where the Soylent Green is being made.
It's dead bodies.
It's people.
Yeah.
They kill people and make Soylent Green
Yeah.
out of it, which is the food source. It's a great movie. It really is a great movie.
Spoiler alert, but okay.
Well, listen, if you know Soylent Green, you're going to know it. Like it's.
I didn't know it.
I know you don't know it, but you're not informed like I am. Like dystopian future, that's on me. I know
Okay,
that.
that's your thing.
That's my thing.
Okay.
I actually miss watching that stuff like that with Estelle.
Yeah.
She was my dystopian future.
Now it's just
That's just me.
utopian future.
Well, Harrison, I texted him. I said, "Hey, do you want to watch this dystopian?" No, not now. Okay, I'll do it myself.
Okay.
Soylent Green can be found on HBO Max. Book of Eli on Netflix.
I have been putting off watching my suggestion.
Frasier.
It's like no. I'm almost back on Frasier though.
It's come full circle.
I'm just kind of like done with King of Queens. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's not
but
Frasier.
Man, I just miss Frasier so much. So I sometimes there's like this thing that is available for you to watch and you know you'd like it.
Yeah.
But you're like,
Yeah.
I'm saving it like
Yes.
a fine wine.
Yes.
So I finally turned on Making a Murderer.
Okay. Yeah.
I'd never seen it before.
It's great.
So first of all, a couple things
Is
that I
this
have to say
up
about
in
it.
Michigan?
Wisconsin.
Yeah, yeah.
So a couple things that I have to say about it.
Wait, how far have you gotten?
We have 3 episodes left of season 2.
Is there a season 3?
No.
Okay.
So, couple things about it. First of all, it's insane.
It is very insane.
It's absolutely insane.
It's one of my favorite Netflix docs.
And it's very compelling. So compelling that we turned it on Sunday afternoon. We're like, we don't really have anything going on for the rest of the day. Let's watch this, see if it's good.
Yeah.
And we didn't go to bed till like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
We're like, I just had to keep on watching
yeah.
it. And I realized in the middle of it, there is a specific look that I give Erica, like when they tell you, and then there was evidence that the vial had blood taken out of it, you know, and there's a specific look that I found that I give her where I'm like watching it, and then they drop a bomb, and I go, because you can't really talk over it because they're saying stuff, and you're like,
Kind of
so
an eye roll.
There's
almost.
a lot of that,
Yeah.
like, and she's like, so, yeah. And it's so intense that there are times where I'll be like, I can't believe it. She's like, would you just pause it if you're going to talk? I can't listen to you and it at the same time. It's very intense.
Yeah.
And I love the people. I love, so I have been imitating. So we've watched way too much of it over like a 2-day period.
Yeah. That's
And-
the only way to watch that, by the way.
Their voice, the
Yeah.
cadence of their voice got so stuck in my head.
Yeah.
And I then began to
The guy that was framed.
imitate it. Yes, him and just everybody in this Wisconsin, Manitowoc area.
Yeah.
They've got this specific kind of Wisconsin northern country accent,
Yeah.
And what I've noticed is there are a lot of one-word sentences that they use as questions. For instance, the word "yeah" is a constant question because there's a lot of phone conversations that they're having,
Like,
And
don't you think this? Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what to say because he told the police officer. He told me that I didn't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what I'm going to do. What are you going to do? Well, a lot of that, you know. And so I kind of lost it a little bit. I'm not as good as I was, but I had it completely locked in. So locked in that I'm talking to Erica, and she's like, you need to stop talking like that. And I'm like, am I talking like that?
Yeah.
So, yeah, because, he told me, the police officer, he told me, if you don't tell me something, I'm gonna have to take you in, and I didn't want to go to jail. Yeah. Well, so I told him. I said, I don't know. And then he said I gotta get a lawyer, and I don't know anything about lawyers. Yeah. Well. And Steve Avery, the ladies' man, this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's getting more girlfriends in jail, than most guys get out of jail.
Up.
He is cleaning up.
Actual girlfriends?
He's like,
or jail girlfriends?
No, I think they're actual girlfriends. He's apparently, got some sort of animal magnetism, but he really falls for these girls. And he's got a little higher pitch. He's like, yeah, I fell in love with her, man. Like, I never felt like this about anybody before. She came in, I gave her a big hug, and I French kissed her. I gave her a big French kiss, and I love her. She makes me feel so special. She makes me feel special. I make her feel special. And I love her. I just love her so much. And then, of course, he literally got broken up with by 2 different women on Dr. Phil. Yeah. That's this guy's life. Yeah. Gets publicly broken up with on Dr. Phil.
After being framed for murder.
Twice, and then spending all of this time in jail. So he's 100% innocent, right? Yes. Of this murder.
And Brandon.
Yes.
Right?
Brendan.
I'm sorry.
Brendan.
100%.
Well, what are they going to do about Brendan? I don't know.
Listen, I really feel bad for these people because the truth is their IQ is super low.
So low. I feel bad for Brendan because they're like in the courtroom and they're like, here, this young, stupid, ignorant child, way below normal intelligence. And he's just sitting there like,
I feel it.
Yeah, well.
I feel so bad for Brendan. I feel bad for Steve Avery.
Yeah.
I just feel bad for all of them. The family, the mom.
The first one was bad. Okay, I mean everything.
The first 18 years in jail, you mean?
Well, the murder, him getting framed, set up the whole thing.
Yeah,
but then he's released.
I know.
He's
2 years.
cleared of it,
he gets
right?
some freedom.
Freedom, and they frame him the second time.
It's so bad.
It is really,
and
really
they
bad.
are so determined
to get this guy.
Yeah, and even from the whole court case, I'll tell you what, the first time I saw this Kratz, this public defender, first time he shows up, and we don't know anything about anything yet, and I looked at Erica, I was like, I don't like this guy. And she's like, would you shut up? I'm trying to listen. Oh, yeah. But we both agreed, like, this guy's no good. And then you find out, of course, that he's no good, and he had all of this taking advantage of these girls that that he's representing and stuff. Yeah. He's like the worst person on this whole show of really bad people. Yeah, because I don't know. Because I told him the other day, I was like, I want to go over there and I want to talk to an attorney, but they got an attorney too. They got a whole mess of attorneys, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. Yeah,
well,
yeah. Well, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Okay, all right. And then when they say goodbye, okay, all right. Well, all right, okay. And then it just kind of trails off, and then they say goodbye. So
their IQ is super low.
Yeah,
it's sad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is sad. And Erica, like, she's like, they're just simple people.
Yeah.
And I here's my take on it. I don't want to throw shade at these people because their life has been awful.
Yes.
And he does not at all deserve what has happened to him or his family.
Yeah.
None of that. They don't deserve it. And so I don't want to imply that they do. But when she said, well, they're just simple people. Yes, they're simple people, but life isn't simple.
Well, so here's the problem. Like they have a car shop, right?
Yeah. Well, it's an auto body, like towing and wrecking company.
Right.
Yeah.
They have a junkyard, whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. Mm-hmm. It's a simple life.
No.
They're not wanting to do anything crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it's a something worthy of doing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
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 Well, what are you gonna do?
It's got a little slower. I don't know. Yeah. But the northern, like you go a little bit up northern. Oh yeah, you got to go to Saskatchewan, and I don't know. They got those hockey hosers over there, and those guys. And man, I don't know what they're gonna do.
That's more Minnesota.
You get a Minnesota, Fargo, But this has got its own like lilt to it. It's a little different, Yeah. I like it a lot, and these guys are great. I'm a big fan. So
Making a Murderer
on Netflix. and I've got 3 episodes to go, and I am not optimistic because every time I hope, the Bible says hope deferred makes the heart sick, and my heart has been sick because I think Brendan's going to get out, and they're like, oh, finally, they're going to let this kid out, and then this stinking district attorney, and even though they've got federal judges, approving it, then he keeps on. It's like, why are you so determined to make this kid's life awful?
Yeah.
It's so obvious that his confession was coerced. How any sane person could look at that. He was just saying because he does have the mental capacity of like a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Right? Actually, how old is Maddox?
6.
Maddox is a bit more what's the word I'm looking for? He's a bit more sophisticated than even Brendan.
Yeah.
If you put Maddox in a room and you try to coerce a confession out of him,
you could get it.
Well, maybe, but Maddox has got. I'm just saying, a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
But if you had like a simple kid, this is what he is. He's simple and he's a kid, and they just, and he said it. He goes, she goes, because his mom was like, well, why'd you say those things? Well, I just said, well, they want me to say,
Yeah.
Well, how'd you do? Guessing like I do on test. I just guessed until I was what they want.
Well, see, what kills me is they say, well, what if you did it?
Right.
How would you have done that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, would you have used a gun? Mm-hmm. Is that something you may have used?
Yeah.
Like they lead him on.
Every single piece of information that they use in the trial against him, they are the ones that brought it up first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brendan, you're going to have to tell me. No, be honest with me, Brendan. Now, things are going to go well for you if you're honest, but if you're not honest, they're not going to go well for you. So I need you to tell me the truth. Well, I am telling you the truth.
I think the recording stopped. Everything's like popping up like out of space, like the card needs formatted.
Okay. Well, let's just
fix it.
Just try to fix it. We'll keep going on the audio.
I didn't do it.
Oh.
Not this time.
So the audio's gone, but maybe
the audio's good.
The audio's good.
The video's gone.
I'm trying to fix the video.
Okay.
We'll see what happens. Who knows? So, yes, I feel horrible for Brendan. I feel horrible for Steve Avery. This family needs to get their life together, though, so that way they don't repeat these things.
Yeah.
Because this sort of thing happened because he lived a life that was too simple from a standpoint of like he just assumed that that he could kind of like be an idiot, right? And just kind of do stupid things and goof around.
Yeah.
And that somehow he wouldn't get swept up into stuff. And 99 times out of 100, yes. But in his case, no.
Yeah.
Right? And if he had been living maybe a slightly cleaner life, I don't think he would have been swept up into this. But once again, not his fault. It's horrible what has happened to him.
Yeah.
In no way is it his fault. So, but I feel really bad for him, and the whole thing is just heartbreaking. And I don't know how season 2 ends, but I don't have high hopes. And you know, and I didn't look it up online because we're gonna wait and see.
Yeah. No, I've seen it. It's
messed up.
Well, this is a theme that happens over and over and over. Not just this doc.
Yeah.
But I've seen other docs where they're framed for stuff, and they lead them on.
Yeah.
You know, and they present information in a interrogation that they don't know.
Yeah, usually
then,
without a lawyer.
Yeah, without a lawyer, and then it's brought up later, and then they know it.
Yeah.
Well, they know it because you brought it up to them.
Yeah, they should have had. None of that should be admissible because they didn't really give him a chance to get a lawyer, and none of these,
And I think at the time he was a minor.
Yeah, he was 16.
He was 16. And so it's wrong.
They pulled him. My heart broke because I know that he's sitting there giving this confession, and they keep on telling him, "Listen, Brendan,
he's like, go back to class."
He goes, when is this going to be over?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, it depends on how, because I got a project due in 6th period."
Yeah.
And I'm
it's like, that's never going to happen.
You're going to jail for the rest of your life. You're not going back to school once for a minute.
Yeah.
You're going straight from here to jail to prison.
And he's 100% innocent.
And he's 100% innocent. And they told him, if you just tell us the truth, you got to be honest with us, Brendan. Be honest with us. We know. We already know. So you be honest with us.
Yeah.
And so he's thinking, well, I'm just going to say what they want to hear.
Yeah.
And it kind of stinks for my uncle, but I don't know what his deal is.
Right.
You know?
And he thinks he can go back to a 6th period project.
Right. And then I can just go back to my life and go home and play video games. Heartbreaking.
I know.
Absolutely.
The governor of Wisconsin needs to pardon them, right?
Yeah, except he's no good.
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, you could just watch the Netflix doc and see it.
I don't care. And I know that some people said, well, this Netflix documentary, of course, they're going to show you what they want to see. I don't care. I saw that confession.
Yes.
That's all I need to see.
Right.
All I need to see is the way that they treated him.
They have no physical evidence.
Brandon, what'd you? Come on, Brandon. Come on. Tell us. What'd you do? It's just wrong. It's so wrong what they did.
It's messed up.
And all of the evidence makes me think that, well,
the police planted the second time around for sure.
Yeah, they planted the blood.
Yes. Yeah.
Why is there blood everywhere and no fingerprints? How does that work?
Yeah.
It's just thing after thing after thing that just doesn't add up or make sense at all.
There's a lot of. I'll send you a couple other links. Off the top of my head, I can't.
And plus, Steve Avery, if he did kill her, right?
Yeah.
He's not going to do that with the car. He has a car crusher.
Yeah.
He's going to crush the car and put her in the incinerator.
They found it in his yard?
Yeah.
Like, really? This is so stupid.
It's not going to happen.
No.
He is... It's in the whole key. I don't know.
I know. It's messed up.
I'm thinking a lot about it right now. So I got to stop talking about it. So I'm all upset.
Did I talk about the Ritz Cracker thing?
Yes, you talked about the Ritz Cracker
Let's
thing.
not go back.
I could talk about something.
Oh, I've got other things.
Well,
better than the Ritz Cracker thing.
Okay.
I would hope so.
Mm-hmm.
So I took the kids to the playground the other day, the park over here, Garfield Park, and I had a flashback of going to the Prospect Park and thinking about all the different equipment.
I'm a big fan of the Prospect Park.
And one of the things I remember getting hurt on was the I don't know what they call it. It's a jungle gym, the big thing that doesn't exist anymore. When's the last time you saw a jungle gym?
What constitutes a jungle gym?
Well, I think that's what we called it. I don't know what it is, but it's like this metal mesh thing that you can climb up.
Oh, sure, yeah, okay,
Right?
Yeah.
It's
I know
like
that. It's like a dome.
It's like a dome.
Yeah, and you can kind of crawl through it and stuff. Yeah.
Have you seen a jungle gym?
No, I haven't seen one of those in
They
years.
disappeared.
They don't have teeter-totters. They don't have the long metal slide.
They don't have the merry-go-rounds
They
anymore?
don't have the merry-go-rounds.
This is messed up.
This is why we have a soft generation.
We got hurt on every single one of those.
Yes, but we learned. That hurts.
That hurts.
This is how far you can go, and you can't go any further. Right?
Absolutely. It's a problem.
It is a problem. We have a pandered helicopter parent society, and kids never get hurt. They never, nothing goes wrong for them because their parents are hovering over them, making sure that nothing bad ever happens. They never even leave their house. They just stay in their homes and play video games all day. They're not getting out into trouble and doing stuff.
Every little spot, little tiny scratch, I get a Band-Aid. Stop it. Rub some dirt on it.
I totally agree.
Yeah. No, I wanted to do the Mount Rushmore of playground equipment.
All right. Okay.
So listen, I think it needs to go back to our childhood, not just today's.
Absolutely.
Because the playgrounds today
suck.
They suck.
They're
They're plastic pieces of crap.
I agree.
The metal slide that we went
only
down,
halfway decent one in Marion was at the hospital, and they tore it down, and they put up another plastic
I know.
one.
There's actually another one on the other side of town that was just like that one.
Go over there.
It's scary.
Yeah.
But it's just like that one.
Yeah, you're also going to find a couple of syringes.
Well,
so.
that's possible.
My old side of town?
Yeah.
I actually just walked across a syringe coming back from. I was walking the dog.
Doesn't matter where you
syringe
walk.
on the ground.
It's going to happen.
The heck?
Have anything left in it?
I didn't check, but just trying to keep my dog away
To me,
from
this
it.
is easy.
Okay, listen.
Yeah.
I already have it.
Okay. Slide.
Yeah.
But it had to be
Swings.
metal.
Swing. Yeah, everything's metal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, the slide that hurts and
Yeah.
squeaks and it burns.
It's like 1,000 degrees in the summertime.
Yeah,
there's just one thin ladder that goes to the top with no railing ever at all, and it's like 10 feet high.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Metal slide. Metal swings.
Yes.
Merry-go-round.
Yes.
And
Teeter-totter.
teeter-totter.
I think that's it.
Is that it? Are we missing one?
I think there's an honorable mention. The little horse things on a spring.
And we didn't talk about Jungle Gym.
We didn't talk about the jungle
Or
gym.
monkey bars.
But I feel monkey bars is pretty good. But
You-
teeter-totter, merry-go-round, swing,
And slide.
I think swing could be replaced because they still they still kind of have those today.
Yeah, but it's the George Washington.
That's why it's the only one that still exists.
Slide and swing still exists. Now the slides are pretty wimpy,
The slides are awful. Plastic little.
but they still have them. They still have slides and swings. I think that's your Washington and Lincoln.
And the merry-go-rounds now that they do have, like you strap They're handicap accessible, and I did take Maddox to
Who's
the park.
letting a handicap kid on a
Well,
merry-go-round?
I did take Maddox to the park the other day, and he wasn't the one that was handicapped. There was an actual handicapped kid that this couple brought over. He had some form of
On
autism.
a merry-go-round?
Yes, but it's one of the ones where it has individual seats, and you get strapped in.
That takes away the fun.
Yeah, well, for the kid that needed strapped in, he had a blast, but Maddox was like, what are we even doing here? I was like, no, and he's like, I don't want to strap in. And I'm like, I know.
Hang on, see what happens.
Yeah.
That's what I would have done. Listen.
This generation is messed up because of these, like to 20-somethings today. That's why all of the younger people, like colleges and stuff, when all of these stupid mask mandates and started to hit, the young people who weren't in danger anyway, right, should be the rebels. They should be like, forget it. Stick it to the man. You're not going to tell us what to do.
Yeah.
They folded like a cheap suit.
Yeah.
They all put the mask on immediately. They put on 2 masks. I'll put on a mask on my eyes. I don't care where do I put the mask and how on do I, I'll stay at home. I won't go out. It's all because of it all goes back to the playgrounds.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's swing, slide, merry-go-round, teeter-totter.
You're right.
That just is what it is. The teeter-totter, more people have lost fingers and all sorts of things on those. Yeah. They're not safe. But you know what? Life's not safe.
One time on a playground, we were playing tag at recess, and I was running full speed, and I turned to run as I was running, and right in the middle of my eyes ran right into a basketball pole, metal basketball pole. That hurt.
Blood?
No, I mean, I about passed out. I mean, I stumbled. I saw stars. I may have passed out.
A head wound is bad. We had some monkey bars at the Elgin Elementary that were really high.
Over top of rocks.
Yeah, and they were over top of rocks, and I fell off of them. And when my feet hit the ground, but then the force of my body kept on going, and my head hit the ground like that, and it hit kind of a pointy rock, and I had so much blood pouring out of my head, and I had to go to the hospital, and they gave me stitches.
Yeah.
There was so much blood.
I remember that.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun.
And I'm a better person because of it.
You learned from that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm a better person because of it. And I'm a better person because of it. All right, this is Dan signing off for Jason, reminding you to always keep your stick on the ice and never wear the blue sweats.
Sit, sit. Good dog.
Now I've spoken.